So we here at Top 5 Gaming don't exactly condone cheating or exploits. However, not all mods are ones used to cheat or get an unfair advantage in-game.
You better run.
Boy, if you don't— In this video, we'll be going over some fun mods outside of traditional play that we'd love to see in Fortnite. These are essentially things that players can do away or outside of public match, similar to the concept of playground mode, where it's totally separate from the main game, and obviously it's possible for Epic to add in mod support or a workshop like Black Ops 3 has on Steam, so that's a possibility as well. These mod ideas are taken from other games, and some of them I could even see being implemented into the actual game with the right amount of balance, but most of them are more suggestions for the types of mods that we could have if we had mod support. So Epic, if you're watching this, please consider. And if you don't consider, well, I'll have no choice but to mod your game myself. Okay, I'm not gonna mod your game myself, but GTA has some really awesome mods in it, okay? It's tons and tons of fun. Listen, okay? You thought it was cool playing as Thanos in Fortnite, right? But how about playing as the Hulk and being able to whack people with street lights or street signs or pick up your enemies and throw cars at them? Ah, good times. Good times. Well, anyway, if this video gets 10,000 likes, the Hulk will give you all a high five. But I'm not exactly sure you want that because, well, anyway, with all that said, this is our list of the top 5 Fortnite mods we'd love to see. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Number 5, the grappling hook. A grappling hook has been a highly suggested item many have wanted to see in Fortnite Battle Royale, and we'd love to see it too. Be it a grappling hook from Batman's tool belt or the grappling hook from Just Cause 2, they're always a fun item to use in any game. But how exactly could it be introduced into Battle Royale? With grappling hooks working so differently depending on the game, we don't want it to be too overpowered, or Epic Games wouldn't even consider it. Well, unless of course they added it in as kind of like its own little game mode type. But in case they did want to add it into the actual game, we do have a few ideas ourselves for how that could work. First of all, we're thinking it could just be a standard grappling hook. Shoot the area you want to be pulled up to and away you go. Just imagine being in an intense building battle against some pro player that you just can't outbuild. Build out to the side a little bit and shoot to the top of the build, pulling yourself up and instantly claiming that high ground. Got some enemy camped up on the highest mountain in a 1x1? No problem. Grappling hook. And if you're feeling really lazy and don't want to climb the 50,000 stairs at Trump Tower, no worries, pull out your grappling hook and you're off. Alternatively, we could even have it affect other players. This might be what makes it a bit too powerful, but it should be fun to grappling hook that camper out of his 1x1 and have pulled directly towards you like something out of Mortal Kombat with Scorpion. The amount of plays, clips, and just outright fun you could have with this item is almost limitless. You have an enemy running away in a golf cart, pull out your grappling hook and shoot the car. As he drives away, you're zooming in behind him, about to jump into the passenger seat and shoot him out of it. I'm not sure how it would be as an actual inventory item though. It could be a limitless item, but that might be a bit too much. However, you could say it only has a certain amount of hooks it can shoot. This might make it a lot more balanced for everyone. How do you think it best suit Battle Royale though? Number 4, weaponized jetpacks. Now the jetpack is something that's been put into the game, vaulted, re-released, and then vaulted again. They even kept it in playground mode for a little while longer, which was amazing when you're trying to build epic minigames and art. Unfortunately, we don't know when we might be seeing it again, if at all. But just imagine if we added some weapons that came attached to the jetpack. No Top 5 Gaming, don't do it. It's too overpowered. Don't worry, guys and gals, as much as we're coming up with some crazy ideas, we're always working on a way to integrate these ideas into the game in a fair and balanced way, if that is the way that you would like it in the game. I mean, personally, I would prefer it to be just completely overpowered and craziness and be separate, kind of like the jetpacks and flying game mode that they had, but keep in mind that if weapons were to be added to the jetpack, you'd have to aim and shoot with those weapons, so you wouldn't be able to use another weapon at the same time. So it's pretty much no different than if you were using a normal jetpack and holding a gun, except now we have even more variety added to the game. But what weapons could we have attached to it? Well, a couple of machine guns on top of that overhang your shoulders, like something out of a Predator movie would be pretty badass, but I think the Fortnite community are getting a bit tired of a spray-type weapons at the moment. You could possibly add a mortar-like device on the back that shoots rockets up into the air and don't explode until impact. It would make it a lot easier to counter and you'd have plenty of time to dodge them before they came down. But what weapon might you stick on a jetpack? Number 3, the gravity gun. With the introduction of the cube in Battle Royale, the community has gone crazy with possible theories of what's to come. But wouldn't it be incredible if we got a new gun from it? And given that the cube has currently left a low gravity bubble in Fatal Fields, what better to match it than a gravity gun? Originally from the game Half-Life 2, a gravity gun would indeed make for some entertaining gameplay. We have yet to see some proper energy type weapons in Fortnite Battle Royale that would suit well with things like impulses and the new shockwave. That is, except for the Zapatron energy-based sniper rifle that we saw at the beginning of the game that could be found very rarely in supply drops. However, they removed it pretty much a day later for being too powerful, and that's why there's pretty much like no gameplay whatsoever other than this one clip that we have. But I'd like to see some form of energy weapon at some point. So how would a gravity gun in Fortnite work? What do you guys think? Well, just like in Half-Life 2, I think that it would be cool if you could pick up local scenery and throw it at your enemies. I doubt you'd be able to pick up a tree, but possibly a small bush or a trash can. You could even use it to pick up your enemies and throw them away, allowing yourself to get to safety. And I really don't think that's too much of a stretch because we do have impulse grenades currently, which you can send people flying in the other direction. I can already imagine me and the squad getting caught by the storm, with all hope slowly depleting until I remember I've got the new gravity gun so I can throw my friends to safety. But that's another point. Would it work like an impulse where you can still take fall damage, or more like a shockwave and you land completely untouched? If it caused no specific damage to players, it could easily be a balanced and useful weapon added to Fortnite Battle Royale. Number 2, flying cars. Just imagine you're pushing a shopping cart downhill. You've got your friend in the basket and you're heading towards a ramp. You take off, but instead of landing, you start flying. No, that isn't ET in the basket making your shopping cart fly. We're thinking about actual flying shopping carts and golf carts. You've probably seen a lot of flying golf cart glitches on the infinite amount of daily Fortnite channels littered across YouTube, but what if it was to fly for real? And I know what you're thinking, that's too powerful. Well, when you think about it, it really isn't. The shopping cart and golf cart both have quite a relatively low health bar, and they can easily be destroyed. So if you and your squad think you're immortal up in the air, you're quite literally dead wrong. A few accurate shots and boom, your vehicle gets destroyed, and now you and the whole team are falling to your death. You may also think it's too easy to get to the circle like that, but considering how spread out the shopping carts and golf carts are, it's no different to using a rift to get to the circle. But now that we have the balancing issue sorted, how fun would they be? Fly over an unsuspected enemy that's just killed one of your squad and nosedive into him, true revenge style. Have a friend who's gotten separated from the squad who's under attack. Fly over and pick him up from the build battle to get him away safely. Just make sure you don't accidentally press the wrong button and hop at the car when you're in midair. And as for the last mod that we'd love to see in Fortnite, whether that be as an actual mod or like a mod game mode, we've got the Sprint, aka the Flash mod. Sometimes when you get on Fortnite, you're on fire and wrecking the whole lobby, but other times, I'll get on, my character just feels so slow, and I'll be running at full speed, but I'll still feel like I'm going so slow. So, what if we had some sort of sprint ability? Not something quite as fast as the Flash, otherwise you'd have the Victory Royale within a fraction of a second, which, if you want to do that type of mod, by all means, I encourage them to actually add that in as a mod alongside the Grapple Hook, which if they didn't want to balance that or put that in the actual game, they could also have that as the Spider-Man mod, but perhaps something more balanced that would help make the game less tedious at times. I know when I've got to run from Tomato Temple all the way towards Tilted Towers for the circle, those big open fields can feel like it's taking an eternity to cross. What if we added a sprint system that allowed the player to sprint at roughly double your normal running speed? Now, if this was infinite, it might be too much and could completely change the style of the whole game, unless, of course, that's the route they wanted to take and separate it from the main game, as I was saying, but especially during those build battles. So what if we added some sort of sprinting system that had a short stamina bar? A bit like GTA. This will allow you to cross those big areas in half the time without affecting the game too much. This is one of those ideas that isn't the most glamorous, but would definitely be one of the most useful that everyone would love to have. But this has been our list of the top 5 Fortnite mods that we'd love to see in the game, whether that be in the actual build of the game or in a completely separate game mode type deal like Playground or other LTMs. Other than that, though, we hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to let us know which mod you would like to see most in this game mode, if it is on this list, or even if it's not on the list, let us know. I know Fallout has some crazy mods. There's so many games with great mods out there. I would just love to see what kind of mods, if any, could come to Fortnite. I'm just so interested by the whole idea of mods in Fortnite, because the mechanics and how the physics work in Fortnite, I think it would make for a lot of fun. But we'll see you guys very soon. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, push notifications on so you never miss out on another video, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.